Talked about Chris Eubanks taking out Tsitsipas, and they come from behind fifth set. Well, we have a chance, and then pause and play here at center court. Take you back to the studio where Chris visited with Chris McKendry and James Blake a short time ago.
With James Blake and Chris Eubanks, the man not just of the moment, the story of the tournament, and that says something because Novak Djokovic is going for 24. But look at you and what you've done into the quarterfinals in your debut here at Wimbledon. How does this all feel?
It feels surreal. This feels like a dream come true. Honestly, coming here from Mallorca, didn't really know what to expect. Had never, played that many consistent matches at ATP level, putting together 5 wins, and then coming here and jumping into my first Wimbledon main draw. Kind of tried to take every match, just one match at a time, just focus on the next opponent, and then move on from that to the next opponent, from that to the next opponent. And then it's like you blink your eyes, and all of a sudden it's like, wow, I'm in the quarterfinals. This is pretty surreal.
Well, we've got plenty to talk about, but first about the match. Do you feel like there was a turning point in the match? I felt like there was a turning point, a specific turning point. Do you feel like there was one in that match?
I think so. I think that match had a lot of ebbs and flows from beginning to. I didn't serve well. I feel like to start off, the wind was really swirly. I had a hard time kind of adjusting and figuring it out. But just based on my game style, I know if I'm able to just continue to hold serve, I'm going to naturally put pressure on the opponent. And if we get into a tiebreaker, anything can happen. And I think I was able to do that in the second. Stefanos came out and played really well in the third. But in the fourth, things started to change a little bit. I started to make a few more returns. I started to try to force my way to net and impose my will a little bit. And I think late fourth set, just something clicked, and I just started seeing the ball big. I started being a little bit more diligent and focused on my return, getting to net, using the chip and charge. He was doing a great job of neutralizing my chip with his forehand. But I said, you know what, if I can maybe apply a little pressure on the second serve, block some, come in, make him come up with some passes, maybe I can disrupt his rhythm a little bit. So I think it was probably late fourth set, even going into the fifth set, I started seeing the ball huge early fifth set. And definitely had some nerves and things that happened as the set went on, but was able to regroup when I needed to.
Yeah, you put tons of pressure on him in that fourth set. I was talking about early in that second set when you saved a couple of those break points. Because like you said, if you're able to hold serve, when you save those set points, I felt like it gave you a chance. And it gave you, once it got you into it, you weren't playing your best to start. But then once you got into the match, I felt like you were able to impose your will, which was really impressive the way you did that today.
Yeah, in previous matches, I've been serving a lot better. And I think we were at second set, middle to late second set on a changeover, and I looked up and I see one ace, and I go, man, this has been a tough day for me serving. This is not what I've become accustomed to of serving on the grass. I've been able to kind of get a lot of free points. He was making me work a lot on my serve. But I do remember what you're talking about. I'd saved a couple break points. If I'm not mistaken, I think it might have been early-ish second set. And from that point on, my rhythm started to change. I started to get my toss in a better position. The wind started to calm down a little bit. And I think that's when I started to gain a little bit more confidence on serve. And I just felt like if I can get this to a breaker, I played some really good breakers over the past couple of weeks. If I can just get there, I like my chances.
Yep.
You said something on the court that struck me. You said, I'm a server, and servers, you just keep serving. And it reminds me of something else we say in another sport, in basketball, right, with a good shooter. Sometimes your shots aren't falling, but shooters shoot. You just keep shooting and they'll fall. Is that your philosophy when you're serving? So maybe it's not your best serving day, but you just keep doing what you know how to do.
Yeah, you have to keep, especially if you're not serving well, treat each service game as almost like a challenge in itself. The games in which you come out, you hit 2 aces and an unreturnable, there's not much thinking that has to go on. You just know I'm going to step to the line, I'm going to hit the serve, things are going well. It's the games when you have to produce a lot of second serves, where you're missing your spot a little bit on your first serves and they're making the returns. Those are the ones where you really have to focus in on. But I think when I said, servers serve and they live for the moments, they live for the moments like serving out matches. They live for the moments of, I just got the break, now it's time to consolidate. Or I just broke, I got the break, I need to consolidate. Or I just got broken, let me get back in it. And then that next game, I'm not getting broken 2 times in a row. I'm not going to let that happen. Those are the moments that I think a lot of the best servers in the world really set themselves apart. And that's kind of the mentality I tried to have. I got off, I think, an early break, first game of the fifth, started holding serve relatively comfortably, and then he started to gain a little bit of momentum. He broke me. But I know this from even doing my fair bit of commentary is that the hardest game to hold is after you've had break points. Either you've held and it's time to consolidate, or you had an opportunity to hold and you didn't get it. And I've seen it so many times. So even when he broke me, I try to just keep my head down, say, he's going to have to work for this next hold. Luckily, I was able to get the break back. But, it's servers serve, but they live for the big moments to serve and not just the 1-all and 2-all games.
So you got your first top 5 win. Tsitsipas in 5 sets today. Now you'll have to get another one. Medvedev. What do you recall of the match in Miami when you saw him in the quarterfinals?
I came out playing extremely well. I remember there was a rain delay that happened, I believe, at 3-2 in the first. And he adjusted his strategy a little bit. He started off staying pretty far back. I was having a lot of success serving him, and then he adjusted his second serve return position, which is something you don't see him do that often. He usually kind of chooses to stay back and stay deep in the court. When we came out of the rain delay, he was stepping up on the court on the baseline on my second serve. He proved to be really, really effective, disrupted my rhythm a little bit, but I think that I'm playing a lot better now. I'm being a little bit more comfortable coming to net, using the serve and volley. So there's going to be some tools I'm going to try to do to disrupt his rhythm. It's not easy because he's one of the smartest players on tour. He knows how to problem solve better than a lot of players, probably 99% of players on tour. But it's going to be a challenge, and it's one that I'm looking forward to. I think he's going to have an idea of what's coming. I kind of have an idea of what's coming. It's going to be an interesting chess match to see who makes the adjustments from Miami, and hopefully I'm able to do them well.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.